Prophet Nwoko don't have a family who will fight for him. And this is why the whole of the Biafran family will fight for Prophet Nwoko.
Welcome, my people. This is a special program. The person you are hearing his voice is ASSASSINATED. We have a special guest today, Dr. Chukwuma Egemba. We woke up on 16th of April to hear of the gruesome murder of Prophet Anthony Nwoko, who was assassinated in his apartment in ENUGU. And that sent a very dangerous signal to all the Biafran activists. And I'm here to discuss about this man. Welcome, Dr. Chukwuma Egemba.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, how did you know Prophet Nwoko?
Prophet Nwoko is a very strong Biafran activist who was listening to Radio Biafra in 2009 when we first came on air. Remember, Radio Biafra was founded in 2009. We were on air between February and September 2009. That is when we have the original Radio Biafra, when the foundation for the Radio Biafra you are talking about, you are hearing about, Radio Biafra London was led. We had 6 months of pure and applied studio program. For that 6 months, the studio, we have our studio where we come in the evening, open up, set up, have our program for 1 hour, continuously uninterrupted for 6 whole months until we ran out of fund. It was within this period that Prophet Nwoko get in touch with us and was phoning in and keeping in touch with us. So when later that day I traveled home with Nnamdi Kanu, that time we were working very cordially. He was my friend, we were working together. We traveled home and we got in touch with this Prophet Nwoko. Then we met him in Lagos, that's where he was living that time. So we didn't like the condition where he was living. He was living in a farm and living in a sort of thatched house. And he expressed interest to return to Biafra land. Before that, according to him, he has lived a long time in the United States. His life and his period there, I did not go into detail to find out from him, so I cannot say anything about that. But it's from that 2009 we met him in ENUGU. Then we met him in Lagos. He expressed interest. Then we helped him, me and then Nnamdi helped him to relocate to ENUGU. So we helped him for a brief period of time until he found his feet and he started and continued to live in ENUGU. That's the much I know him, and I have visited him at least on 2 occasions during my travels. The last was in 2017. I met him. I went to his house where he was living in ENUGU, not where he is living until he was murdered, but before where he lived before. So I visited him there. We had a chat. We discussed a lot of things. And the last time I spoke to him was January this year, until I learned about his bastardly and cowardly murder on this Tuesday. You're talking about Tuesday the 16th, and it happens to be the Holy Week, in the week that precedes to the Easter celebrations. So what an unfortunate incident.
Okay, what kind of person was he? Was he somebody that was interested in material and wealth acquisition? Like he had, did he have any sort of land problem with people, or is he a troublesome individual?
Prophet Nwoko?
Yes.
Impossible. Prophet Nwoko, for your information, and as far as I know, many people know, Prophet Nwoko is not married. Prophet Nwoko don't have any children. I am not aware of any landed property he owned, talk less of having dispute with anybody. The property he was living in ENUGU was rented. It was rented accommodation. So I understand it was the tenants, his school tenants in that building that alerted the caretaker that then called the police. So it wasn't his property. He is not a material person. and he lived a quiet life, just like a prophet is. Remember, he told us that his prophecy, or his being called a prophet, it is a sort of a calling. He was well off, according to him, in America before the calling came that he would go and serve his people. Then he came, I think, according to him, he joined Celestial Church of God, or Cherubim and Seraphim, or whatever, because of his uprightness, because of his uncompromising nature in speaking out the truth. So he helped to expose a lot of things happening in Celestial Church of God and in Cherubim and Seraphim, and that led to the expulsion or resignation of many top officials in Celestial Church. Then they became very uncomfortable and they tried to excise him out. Hence he becomes destitute. As I said, we didn't meet him in any flamboyant place. We met him in a farm. He must, where he was living was like a thatch house, you know what they call bacha. Yeah. So there's nothing materialism about it. About him. He has not expressed materialism. He has not shown any interest or anything that can be attached to him in that manner. Absolutely no, no, no. Besides, as a prophet, he lives life of a prophet, praying, fasting, and speaking out the messages God gave him. Whatever he tells you, that's what he will tell you, say, this person, you are not going to be the light of the east. That's what he is. You are not the right person. Remember that when Father Mbaka was gallivanting, talking from both sides of his mouth, he warned him that what you are doing is wrong. When any governor or any person, whatever, he fails, he find out you received information or calling or message about the person, he says it. We all know, we are Christians. The prophets in the Bible, they are meant to give out the message, and we know that the message prophets give, they are not palatable. It is not something that is good to the ear of the person the message is meant for. Yeah. So, and the prophet cannot adulterate message. He has to deliver it the way it is, or else they will attract the wrath of God. So that is the prophet Nwoko for you. So he is an upright man. I have not seen anybody who has got anything negative to say about a prophet, other than those who are not comfortable with him saying the truth.
Thank you very much. You know, since the incident of the assassination of Prophet Nwoko, the social media have been awash with accusations and counter-accusations by top pro-Biafran leaders of different groups. And many of them have pointed accusing fingers at Nnamdi Kanu and his disciples. Why do you think it's so?
Why? Why it is so?
Yeah.
I will say because Prophet Nwoko himself, before he died, one of the last messages he gave was, my understanding, it is in public knowledge, that he criticized Nnamdi Kanu for the way he is running the affairs of his group. I will not say the affairs of Biafra, because he don't represent the whole of the Biafran family, yes. His IPOB family. He felt that the way he is doing about it is wrong. He also accused him of collecting money from politicians. And as a result of that, Prophet Nwoko also highlighted or made the world know that he has been receiving threats, and many threats from supporters of Nnamdi Kanu and his group. Well, that probably the reason why such accusation and blame or pointing fingers are directed at them. But having said that, it is still an accusation. As you know, I live in the United Kingdom. I have lived here. To quote one of my friends, Tabu Mase, we said that Ebaka aino bodo iwu nache. You know what I mean? You are in a country that is ruled by law, by the rule of law. Therefore, when a murder or this incident happens, one has to be very careful in whatever they say. Some people will say that when you are being careful in what you are saying about this type of incident, about a crime, that you are more or less not being forward or outspoken to condemn, no, sorry, to support the accusation or whatever. Being outspoken or to condemn, I have of course condemned this incident as the most bastardly and cowardly act. I will explain what I mean by that later. So while I am being cautious and guided by my decision, is that I don't want anything that will prejudice the investigation. This is a criminal murder case for that matter. So we have to, I am using this opportunity to appeal to people. In as much as accusing fingers are being pointed, it is still mere accusation. Accusation is not conviction. All right? Until someone is goes through the process of the law and accused and sentenced and convicted, you are still innocent. Yes. We are in a country, the law, I am not a lawyer, but the little I know, I understand, I know that you are innocent until you are convicted. Therefore, accusations should remain accusation, and people should be guided in whatever they see in this matter. Why I say that, and I stand by it, and I want anybody to challenge me, is that I don't want this case to be corrupted. I don't want this case to be dismissed, if you like, because in this country there has been an incident, a lot of incidents, examples, occasions, when a pure and applied murder case was dismissed and the perpetrators were acquitted because the case was corrupted. They felt that they have been tried by the media, therefore the person representing them said that their client will not get fair hearing. Because of that, they throw it away. And I don't want that to happen to this case. I want this case to be investigated to the last bit. And everybody and anybody associated with it must be brought to book. Whatever I can do to facilitate that, I will do it.
Do you trust the Nigerian police to do a justice?
That is a different matter. That is a different matter. The answer is yes and no. Yes, because when they want to do their work, proper job, they will do it. No, because Nigerian justice, from police to the prosecution to the judges and everything in between, the lawyers in between, are cash and carry justice. It's just like, sorry to the expression, they say it's like a shower, money for hand, back for ground. Without money, without money, you will not get justice. That is why I said yes and no. Yes, if they want to investigate, to get the root of the matter, they have the capability and the means if they want to. But incidentally, Prophet Nwoko don't have a family who will fight for him. And this is why the whole of the Biafran family will fight for Prophet Nwoko. The whole of the civil society organization in Nigeria will fight for Prophet Nwoko. The whole of the media houses that Prophet Nwoko was engaged with will fight for him. The grass on the ground will fight for, God will fight for Prophet Nwoko. And this murder case will expose anybody who is involved in it, and it will be the beginning of the end of their crime. This is the death of the, Prophet Nwoko has exposed all the evil, all the crimes that has been committed in the name of Biafra. It is this case that will bring it to light, and it will be the beginning of the end of such crime within our community, within our struggle.
You were once Nnamdi's very close friend.
No doubt about that. I am unashamedly so.
Do you see him as somebody that will order the execution of an individual?
That is a good question. The simple answer is no. But at the same time, he may not have given the order. But as you know, his supporters are under oath of allegiance to him, not to Biafra. That is what many people don't understand. I have taken oath of allegiance to the Biafran cause. And what it is that I will not knowingly do anything that will compromise the struggle. I will not do anything that will betray any individual or group of individuals that is pursuing the cause for the Biafran independence. That is what my allegiance for. That's what I took oaths of allegiance to the Biafran cause, to the restoration of Biafra, and not to an individual. Unfortunately, I don't know if you have seen the text of the oath they took. More than 90% of it is an allegiance to Nnamdi Kanu, and I am very, very disappointed that he allowed himself for people to swear oath of allegiance to him, and that is what you are getting today. So these people, instead of them to fight for Biafra, they are fighting for Nnamdi Kanu. Instead of them to do what they will do, instead of them to know what they will do to accomplish, to restore Biafra, they are doing everything possible to protect the person they have sworn oath of allegiance to. That is wrong. So he may not have. And as a matter of fact, and that is why they listen, then if someone go to kill in your name, the question is, you follow and monitor the media than myself. Let me ask you, and it's a direct question, and I am also putting this question to anybody listening. Today is Friday, the 26th of April. And this incident happened, I think, 16th of April. Today is exactly 10 days. Now, has Nnamdi Kanu come out to condemn this? I am asking question. Why I'm asking is because I don't know. I have not read anywhere. Now, has he? If not, why not? Now, if someone said that someone...
Let me interject.
Okay, please.
His group, the one they call the publicity secretary of his group, called Emma Powerful, from what I read, said his group was not responsible. So that's the answer to the question.
No, it is not itself.
Okay.
It is not, yes. Now, you said that More Powerful, I understand he is his media or publicity secretary have come out to say that they are not fair enough, but that's not the same as Nnamdi Kanu coming out to, because nobody is talking of More Powerful. Nobody, I can say, knows about More Powerful. Everything about IPOB under Nnamdi Kanu is Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is effectively IPOB under him, and he is IPOB. Therefore, and this is a high-profile murder. If they think that because Prophet Nwoko don't have a family, he is not married, therefore they will kill him and it will like a chicken, nobody will remember or think about him, they are making the mistake of their life.
So what you are saying is...
Yes, Nnamdi should come out openly because the hand is pointing directly at him. If the hand is pointing at IPOB, it is pointing directly at Nnamdi. I am urging him to come out openly to issue out a statement. If you don't know anything about this, if you did not direct it as you are being accused, come out. If someone is accusing me or someone is saying, oh, someone wants to kill in your name, on your behalf, I will come out and say, no, I will just raise my hand and say, if you know that I sent you, come. And will tell me how, directly or indirectly. But his supporters, you are in the media, you know how any sort of criticism against Nnamdi will attract the wrath of his members. This is what we are talking about here. So he has to come out, not only to condemn it, but to cooperate in the investigation. And if he suspects anybody or group of persons who may have been involved, it is his responsibility to bring them out to justice. And if he fails to do that, he will be directly or indirectly be linked to the murder.
Thank you. You know, when this thing happened, a lot went through my mind. I remember the time of civil activism in America. A particular group called the Black Panther Party. We are very active. FBI infiltrated them, caused problem, disorganized them, and divided them. FBI was carrying out murder, and the rival group were revenging.
Okay.
So even some of the families of the deceased later went to court and won cases against the FBI and Chicago police. Have you thought about it that this could be a ploy by some elements in Nigerian security to frame Nnamdi Kanu and his group?
There is that fear, or again, suspicion. Now, again, let's again see if there are some murder or person who are involved. if you are talking of maybe leaders of other pro-Biafran groups, for instance, or some other politicians that have been implicated or whatever, now, then you will be saying, Prophet Nwoko, this is, Prophet Nwoko, to the best of my knowledge, I don't know his age, but he's between his mid-60s, late 60s to early 70s. That is my personal approximation of his age.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, he is more or less frail. A man who spent his time fasting, prayer, communing his God. He don't have any, he is harmless as a fly. He is not in competition with anybody. Now, that is why, personally, I am not saying federal government is involved or they are not involved. Honestly speaking, I will be very, very reluctant to say they are. Because nobody, it is this mother that has even raised the profile of Prophet Nwoko himself. Before this mother, nobody, just they read about his prophecies and they dismiss it, and nobody is paying attention to him. So he is not in a rival camp per se. He don't have any group he is headed, for instance. So he is not in any sort of opposition, direct opposition with Nnamdi and his group. Therefore, what is I'm quite sure that the federal government don't even know that Prophet Nwoko exists. So how will they order this thing for somebody they don't know that exists, or that they don't know that, or somebody that don't pose a threat? If you say, but maybe the governor or maybe some of the people, they go and kill the governor or some other Biafran activists that are in direct competition or opposition, then again, this is a matter of police. Remember, we have our people. We have our people everywhere in Nigeria.
Yes.
They will come up with something. By the time the investigation, inquiries are being made and whatever, some truth will come out. By the way, names has been mentioned. Even photo of individuals who may, I use the word may, be associated with this has been. But again, it is still neither here or there, because it is until the prosecution is done, someone is arrested, tried, we will not find the truth. But time heals all wounds. As I was saying, regardless of what happened, regardless of where and who fingers are being pointed at and counter accusation, those who are involved in this murder, no matter how high they are placed, no matter how low they are placed in the society, they will be fished out. Police is doing their own investigation. The Biafran family, the Biafran activists, they are also doing their own investigation. If you go, if you escape A, you are not going to escape B, because we are fighting for an independent nation, a true democratic, pluralistic, diverse society. It is not a dictatorship where an individual will be will dictate what happens, where people will not have the freedom to criticize their leader, where the people will not have the freedom to criticize policies or action of their leader. This is not the Biafra I am fighting for. And anybody who think or who claim to be a Biafran leader and want to adopt autocratic rule, the person should think twice. This is the Biafra that contains the Igbo nation, that contains the Ijo nation, that contains other nations, the Anangs, the Efik, the Ibibios. They cannot, that person cannot succeed. Okay? Because these people I've mentioned, it is a story for another day. These are people that have independent value, that value their freedom, that has not been conquered, and nobody has conquered them. We have empires around us. Nobody conquered any part of Biafra land, and no Biafran people did not conquer anybody. We know that Biafra has existed. I'm not going deep into history, but just to let you know that we have existed for a long time, but we don't involve in autocracy.
Go to that side. You know, when we had the interaction a few days ago, you said that this killing was not the first. Can you expatiate on that? That there have been some other violence
There are some other violence that has been perpetrated directly or indirectly by the supporters of Nnamdi Kanu and his group. Some of them, as I said, this is the most high profile that will make the limelight. Others, nobody, it wasn't investigated, people didn't take them serious, or not that they didn't take them serious, people did not, it wasn't publicized enough for people to action on. There are instances. So, and I am taking this opportunity to appeal to people, not just the case or the murder of Prophet Nwoko. Anybody who have any evidence that can point to the killers, to the perpetrators of this horrendous crime, they should come forward. My name is Chukwuma. If you go to my Facebook, you will see me there or whatever. If you want to inbox me directly. My telephone number is in my Facebook page. I don't fear anything. Inbox me, contact me. I will direct you to the right sources. If you have any evidence, not just the murder of Prophet Nwoko and any other crime that has been committed in the name of Biafra within our community, we cannot allow it to continue. If we do, we will be faced with a situation we will not be able to handle.
So what do you think, what's the danger that the assassination of Prophet Nwoko posed to our struggle?
It poses our struggle that we are not fighting for Biafra, but we are fighting to kill ourselves. It is sending a very wrong message. If you are a Biafran supporter, a Biafran activist, I want you to ask yourself a question. What are you in this struggle for? What do you want to achieve? Are you in this struggle to help to restore Biafra? Are you in this struggle to become a praise singer of an individual? Are you in this struggle to promote a group? This is the question you want to ask, I want you to ask. Even if you took oath, the oath you took, did it preclude your sense of judgment, sense of reasoning, sense of justice? Let me ask you, if you have a brother, a father, an uncle, somebody you know, and was bastardly, cowardly murdered, most of you know the murder, the person who committed this murder knocked at Prophet Nwoko's door, and Prophet Nwoko opened.
But that's an allegation.
Well,
nobody was.
Yeah, because nobody was there. Let me explain what I mean by that. You know, when police came, they will look at the scene. There was no any sign of breakage.
Okay.
There's no any sign of enforcement. That is forced entry. That's what I mean. Yeah. Now, there's no sign of struggle. When you are in a room, two of you hefty men, you want to kill me, I will struggle. This will reflect in the scenario. But they said that this man was succumbed. After severing his forehead, he succumbed with his mobile phone immersed in blood. That is innocent. Now, if this is your brother, your uncle, a relation of yours, will you take it? If you will not take it, why will you take it for another person? Because you have an oath of allegiance to an individual. Is that person God? Okay. That is the question we need to ask.
The reason why I ask you that question, the danger that this thing poses, is that I've been watching the fight between Asai Dokubo and then
yes,
and the other individuals also
involved in this struggle.
Yes. So what I have seen is threat to life. We will kill you. We know how to kill more. We know how to kill more. Are we seeing a situation where this group will kill
more people?
Yeah. These people will go and kill these people, and these people will revenge, and the thing will lead to maybe the end of this struggle, like what destroyed the Black Panther Party in America, where the killing, the vicious cycle of killing continued until the organization was destroyed.
It will not happen. Let me explain what I mean. Biafra is made up of different nations. The Igbo people is the highest or the largest group within the Biafran family. You have the Ijaw nation, you have the Shekris, you have the Robos, you have the Anang, Efik, and other nationalities, Ishopo, and so on and so forth. Now, we are not stupid. You see, these two things will come out of this murder. It will result to more murders, or it will be the beginning of the end of senseless killing within our struggle.
Cleansing.
Yes. Now listen, why do we need to kill ourselves? Our enemy, who are our enemies, by the way? Let's assume that we have one. You define who they are. They will be laughing at us. One side, laughing, enjoying. Let them kill themselves. After they have finished, then we'll come and wipe out, clean it up, and take over. That's what they will be doing. That's all they will do. Is it what you want, my brethren? If that is what you want, go ahead and take order and to kill. The person you are killing, ask question, what did this person do? You have been sent to come and kill me. Well, they said that he who is on the floor, don't fear to fall down. I am already on the floor. I don't even have any will to write. So I am there for the taking. Please come and kill me. If you kill me today, are you going to kill again back tomorrow? You will kill until the point that you don't see anybody to kill. You will start to kill yourself. So that is the danger. And it is going to affect our struggle. I have said it before. The situation in our struggle will get worse before it will get better. But it will definitely get better and grow to a higher level where we will attain our independence. It is unfortunate that we are inciting the violence against ourselves. And instead of us to put heads together to find out how we can progress our struggle, we are now fighting, looking about whether someone is coming to kill me, kill you, destroy, or men. This is not right. To unite, this murder will unite the Biafra family more and cause the change of heart and mind of some of those who are making this threats. Because time will come when someone will go and tell you to go and kill them. Hold on a second. Why am I killing this man? When someone asks you to go and do something, ask a question. Even if you don't ask the person sending you, ask yourself question. This person I'm going to kill, I have been asked to go and kill. What did he do to me? If he is my brother, will I go and kill him? If someone order somebody to kill my brother, will I like it? So when you ask these questions, then you know whether you are going to carry an order. Remember, when the Igbo said that Onya na nyendomodo echefukule. If you are receiving a counsel, if you are being advised about something, remember that you have your own thinking faculty.
Finally, I think considering what we've seen so far, the threats by some pro-Biafran group, what do you think we can do to educate these young men and women? Because this is not the first time. Yes, Prophet Nwoko has been assassinated, but remember that many top pro-Biafrans, even when General Achuzie was alive, Dr. Ike, they were all threatened.
Yes.
And I remember one particular time when I spoke to Dr. Ike, he said they will come and behead him, and it was also the same group. What do you think we can do? Because it seems the young men and women who are even making these phone calls, writing this on social media, do not even know the implication. Yes. What do you think we can do?
And that
improve the situation?
That is the most worrying aspect of it. Apart from, this is my understanding, and many of them, because of the oaths they are on, they will not be free to speak out. As I said, I took oath of allegiance to defend the Biafra struggle. I will speak out my mind. That will, everything I will do, it will gear towards uniting our people and achieving our aim. But some of these people, they took oath, and apart from oath, I also understand that there is a place in Arochukwu or somewhere where they are being taken to, in a shrine or something like that, thinking that when they go there, it will seal their mouth, so that whatever they are asked to do, they will do it without asking a question. We are in a game of number. Remember that most of these ants ranting, they are ranting it on social media. Some of them don't have the capability. Some of them don't have the capacity to carry out this.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yes, some of them can. as we have seen. I'm not disputing it. But this is where we need to act together, come together. So okay, let's assume that those who are out there to kill are 1,000, for instance, 1,000 people. And you have 500,000 people. You have 1 million Biafrans who said, no, this is bad. Then they come together. 1 million, 2 million against 1,000. They are not going to get far. Let them start killing. By the time they kill, listen, when you start killing, there's a number of people you can kill. That's not right.
It's not even about the people who are killing. I'm talking about people who make threats and do not know the implication.
Now,
what do we do to this?
What do we do that? It's education.
Education.
Yeah, we have to educate them.
How are we going to?
Okay, for instance, I'm quite sure that those who will watch this episode of your program, they will learn 1 or 2 things. I have thrown a challenge. Now, someone, for instance, this education. Now, I am challenging this anybody listening, and you have received instruction to kill, and you have determined to go and kill. Ask yourself a question. How is my going to kill a fellow Biafran help to restore Biafra? How will killing my fellow Biafran help us to unite to achieve independence? What will be my own gain killing my own Biafran, my fellow Biafran, a human being? No, they don't have to be a Biafran. Someone asks you to go and kill somebody, ask question, why am I killing this person? Again, you ask yourself, if this person is my brother, or someone has been paid or instructed to go and kill my brother, my father, my uncle, my nephew, a relation of mine, is it right? What did my brother, your relation, do to be killed? So that is what the challenge before us. Ask question. If you don't ask question and you go and carry out an action, you are liable. The blood of the person you kill will pursue you, will come after you to the end of your life. Even if they do not find you out, the guilt will live with you. Remember, we are talking about blood, not water. The guilt, you know that you have killed somebody, that guilt will remain with you. Is it what you want? As I ask again, what actually do you want in Biafran struggle? Is it to be a praise singer, to become a terrorist, to support your leader in order to kill other people in the name of Biafra? Is that what you want? I am in Biafra struggle to do everything I can to help restore Biafra so that we will have our own independent state and live like normal human beings. Use our man and material to develop our land and not to go and kill a fellow Biafra. Please ask question. And if you know anybody who is involved in this and you did not report, you are an accomplice and you are also helping to destroy the Biafran struggle. And we don't want to have a civil war within Biafran land when we will be fighting against ourselves. We need to unite to fight anybody who is against us and not to fight within ourselves.
Thank you, Dr. Chukwuma Egemba.
It's my pleasure.
Ebeka unusi Biafra, Ebeka unusi Biafra, Gamavapu Biafra, Gawe Bozo Gabibi, Gamavapu Biafra, Gawe Bozo Gabibi, Biafra.